Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are back for tier list, the Pokemon TCG tier list, base set to fossil, and I believe we're on part 7, so let's continue on. Stop chit-chatting, let's get straightforward onto ranking them. Previous tier list, they update, we did make some changes to it. Now I'm probably gonna put Gloom over because it actually Gloom surprisingly does well with Dragonite because like a fusion onto uh the active opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, Dragonite with the combination of Gloom, and then you can evolve into Vileplume to amp out the damage output. Yeah, pretty great. So I put Gloom over Vileplume because it's more consistent. Primeape is a pretty good choice for a Dragonite kind of deck, but I don't think it's like too groundbreaking now to think about. So yeah, it's just a second option right there. Yeah, Snorlax. I think I put Snorlax up down a bit actually. Snorlax, there are some tweaks about it, but I think Snorlax is just. I mean, thick skin, it can resist anything, any status conditions, even sleep, surprisingly. Um, but I don't know. It's more like a tank Pokemon. It's not gonna do much, so I probably put it probably right there. At least Power can disable attack. Yeah, that's all for the updates. I think I put Machop above Rattata. Like Rattata has free retreat, but I think Machop is more consistent. It will survive better. And yeah, I think that's it. Nothing more to it, but that's it. On to what we're gonna continue on. First off, the Rhydon. Oh boy, Rhydon. Okay, where are we gonna rank you? Rhydon is it's very energy hungry. Has 100 HP, so that's something, I guess. But man, this Rhydon, it can see play, but barely because how energy hungry it is. The most you're doing is just 30 damage, and that's really it. Ram just costs too much unless you have Electrode. But even that, I think Ram is like not the best consistent attack, by far. And plus, the opponent can injury, super injury removal, your Electrode, and fighting energy, so you have to restart over again. And it's so annoying. So Rhydon, unfortunately, I mean, it does have a lightning resistance, but that's really it. Like this high retreat cost, non-consistent attacks. I'm sorry, Rhydon, you're going down where Golem is. It's definitely better than Golem actually. Now I think about it. But yeah, it's not gonna see much play besides that. I'll probably put Golem way like actually pretty bad. Yeah, put it above Zapdos actually. Yeah, Golem's not gonna see any play. Like 80 HP for stage 2. That's quite pathetic. Haunter, actually put Haunter a little bit above. Yeah, it has to rely on sleep, and sleep is an inconsistent status condition. But I do think there is some. I have tested around with it, and it actually there's some slight potential, mostly for the Rocket and Rocket on format. So yeah, plus it can possibly utilize Dark Gengar, the Rocket Drowsy, a lot of things. So I probably put it around C tier actually. Probably around there for now. But I have seen some playability. And 2 Psychic Energy off of Dream Eater, 50 damage. That's insane. It just sucks that it has to rely on sleep. And yeah, I think Dark Gengar is by far the best iteration because it's still kind of sleep, but instead the opponent flipping 1 coin, it flips 2 coins. I don't know how many people actually discovered this deck, and I'm hoping to build one in the future. But yeah, this, I don't know how people didn't discover that Dark Gengar can really complement this Haunter, but it really just does. And the Neon set, Focus Band, like, the Haunter's not gonna get knocked out, and that's incredible. So yeah, so Rocket On is by far like the best place for Haunter because you get the Rocket Drowsy with long distance hypnosis, and yeah, it's a great combo. It could also go well with the Rocket's Snorlax, where it actually gets a bonus off of being asleep, not even attacking, and it's off of just being asleep and retaliating against the opponent if they dare to attack. So yeah. So that's something you mentioned there. Yeah, right on. I'm sorry, bro. You have to go in the right. Ekans. Ekans is actually a decent card. I won't say much about it. It's not auto poison, so I mean that's fine. Rep does a paralyze, so decent all around, but nothing too special. So I put Ekans. Where should I put you? Like, probably up, yeah, right there, probably. Yeah, I'll put you right there. Wheezing. Now, Wheezing is a very interesting one. Smog is a coin flip poison, so you'll get auto off of 2 grass energy. So not the best. Self-destruct. Very self-explanatory. Self-destruct is just deals damage and explodes itself. Now, I mean, it's dealing 80 damage to itself. And Defender may actually survive. It actually helps Wheezing. Similar to base set Magneton, but more consistent, I guess. They both have the same HP, 60. And that's not really that good. So yeah, Wheezing, quite underwhelming, but could be interesting to play around. So I mean, I guess I'll put it. I don't know what to put you. Probably above Parasect. I don't know. Self-destruct could be fun, but I don't really see it as like all around interesting. Seeking. All right, now we gain very straightforward, simple card. Seeking is the best. Like, it may be the most basic card out there, but it is just that good. Has 70 HP, long retreat cost, has 2 consistent attacks. Horn attack does deal 10 damage, so it's not bad. But that one water energy off of that Goldeen and then evolve it to Sea King, you just need any energy. It doesn't have to be water energy to use Waterfall and deals a massive 30 damage. So that's huge. And yeah, Sea King is great. You can put this in any fast aggro water decks and it will just be going ham, right? That Waterfall is quite deadly, especially against fire types like Magmar, Fossil Magmar being a huge meta, and also like base set Arcanine and some Charmeleon decks, you know? Sea King is definitely up there, and Goldeen has free retreat, so that is something to utilize. If only Sea King has free retreat, that would be incredible, but you know, sometimes there gotta be some flaws in there. So I'll put Sea King. I don't know. Actually, should I put you about the top of B? I mean, Sea King is actually really good. Put you up above Machop. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Sea King is just really consistent. There's nothing more about it. Pairs well with any like water Pokemon that has like a lot of energy to build up. And Sea King is just a really good early attacker for your Dugons, Gyarados, Blasters even. Right? Just a good aggro all around kind of deck. Plus it's quite splashable. You just need one water energy and that's all. Yeah. Basic but incredible what it is. Don't sleep on Sea King. You know, I think Shuckle TCG did a video on one of the most underrated jungle Pokemon out there, and Sea King is one. So, you know, go watch that video. All right, speaking of underrated, it's Geodude, the Stone Barrage. Oh boy, I still remember that I made like a dedicated deck profile of specifically Stone Barrage and how many coin flips you can get off of like tons of heads. Incredible. Stone Barrage may not be the best, but it can really be satisfying to pull off. Unfortunately, it didn't show it for my Pokemon TCG Game Boy Color playthroughs. Not at the moment, but hopefully soon if I do show it. But yeah, Stone Barrage, not consistent, but it is fun to play. So that is something. Yeah, I'll probably put it. I mean, it can do infinity damage. Like, who doesn't want that? The problem is, it needs 2 energy, so that is like a quite problem for Geodude to start rolling. If it only requires 1 energy, that would have been great, but unfortunately, it requires 2. But at least the second energy doesn't require a specific rock, fight energy for it. So let's put it. Where should we put it? Let's put. I don't know actually. I guess let's put it behind Dugtrio, I guess. Yeah. Because at least Dugtrio does flat damage. Tauros is a quite interesting one. It has Stomp, so it's like a better version of Quick Attack. Where it does a base attack 20 instead of 10. You get extra damage plus power off of a coin flip. And for Rampage, you have to get damage counters onto Tauros to deal even more damage. But you have to flip a coin if to see if you don't get confused, I believe. I think that's a status condition. But yeah. Rampage is quite a risky one, but it's also fun at the same time because you get paired up with Dodrio and base set Magnemite, and that could go ham because base set Magnemite requires one lane energy and one colorless to actually deal 40 damage, and self-destruct does knock itself out, but like I mentioned, for all the self-destructing moves, you can use Defender to reduce damage because it doesn't imply that anything prevents it from taking self-damage, right? So you can use just Defender, and it will just survive off of that self-destruct, and you'll be dealing massive 40 damage off of 2 energy. That's quite insane, and it deals damage to all of the players' benches, but that is a good thing because Rage off of Dodrio and Tauros Rampage is actually really good, and you definitely want damage onto them. So definitely a good combination. Also a good combination would be with Dugtrio. So I mean, I guess you can try that, but I think that's more energy hungry, so maybe not. But yeah, Taurus is not bad. I put probably C. Quite consistent. So I don't know why I put Drowsy in B. That's kind of weird. Let's put Drowsy above Dratini and Tauros. You are let's put you above I guess. Yeah, let's put you above Vaporeon. Yeah. I think Tauros is just more fun. Stomp is more consistent. Alright. Grimer has nasty goo, so you can paralyze and deal 10 damage. Surprisingly, that's interesting. Like, this Grimer has 1 retreat cost, so that's actually pretty nifty. And minimize can reduce 20 damage, so yeah, this is more so like a stall Pokemon. Not better than Ghastly, Fossil Ghastly, but hey, it could be splashable. Like, supposedly this Grimer could be splashable, so I'm put above yeah, I guess I put it above Snorlax, I guess. Yeah. The reason why it's not better than Fossil Ghastly is because more usable, and even though it's not splashable, you have Lickitung, right? So Lickitung is just a better version of Grimer. It can just be in any deck. Weeping Bell. Oh boy, we already know Weeping Bell. You can watch my Venus Center deck for the base to fossil. I did a deck profile for Venus Center. And a surprising partner is Weeping Bell. And like I mentioned, Weeping Bell can get off a Poison Powder and deal 10 damage still to the active Pokemon off a coin flip, and Razor Leaf deals 30 damage off of 2 grass energy, and I just think that is insane. 2 grass energy, that is insane. Like, similar to Sea King, but slightly better because of that Poison powder. Hmm. Yeah. Poison is just the second best in my opinion. Second best status condition in the Pokemon TCG because it does residual damage between turns, not your opponent's turn, right? So it's so good. Just getting that poison off of that, you're really just deteriorating your opponent's active as much as you can, dealing razor leaf damage off of 2 grass energy. That's again, like I said, for Seeking, it's quite insane, right? And they both have 70 HP, so 70 HP is like the ideal health bar for many Pokemon at that era. So yeah, a lot of big basics, and especially for stage ones, they definitely need it. So Weeping Bell, Seeking, they deserve to be A tier. And yeah. And speaking of the little brother of Weeping Bell, we have Bellsprout. Now Bellsprout actually synergizes very well with Weeping Bell because of Call for Family. And Call for Family just needs 1 grass energy, and it's optional move. You can deal damage or um, grab a not Weeping Bell. You can grab a Bellsprout off of the deck and then put it on your bench. And again, that's so good because if you're building off a Weeping Bell and you have like tons of Weeping Bells in your hand, you can just call for family and then bring another Bellsprout onto the bench, and you can just evolve simultaneously off of 1 turn. It's so good. People are sleeping on this. Like, I don't know how people are sleeping on Bellsprout and Weeping Bell. Like I mentioned, for Victory Bell. Victory Bell's probably the most under. The people focus on Victory Bell, and Victory Bell is actually very underwhelming. Stage 2, because stage 2s they must have a good amount of HP, and HP it's not bad. It's just not consistent enough, and its attacks are not even that good. Like Lure is essentially a gust of wind, similar to Ninetales, but you're not dealing as much damage compared to Fire Blast. And Acid is not like an auto non-retreat condition. You have to flip a coin to get that Acid off to prevent your opponent from retreating. And 20 damage is not even that good for a stage 2 Pokemon. So you can't really knock out any of your opponents. So yeah, unfortunately, Victory Bell gets the short end of the stick. Deals lesser damage compared to its better counterparts, and yeah, that's why Weeping Bell and Bellsprout didn't really see much play because of Victory Bell. But yeah, similar to Charmeleon. Charmeleon is actually quite underrated because of Charizard, and Charizard is not the main factor about it. Like I mentioned, you can go watch my other tier list. I'm pretty sure I talked about it, but yeah, Charmeleon is just more consistent, and same here with Weeping Bell and Bellsprout. Yeah, I put Bellsprout pretty high for what it is. I probably put it in B. Just for that Call for Family for 1 energy. That's so good. Plus it can attack. And dealing chip damage is ideal. So yeah, I put it right between there. Yeah. You can go watch my Venusaur deck. Talked a lot about how underrated those Pokemon are, but yeah. Spidey does pretty well together with Venusaur. But you can pair it with Dodrio if you want to get rid of that retreat cost. You can just free roam Weeping Bell however you like. And like I mentioned, for Seeking, it could be any grass type aggro deck. Similar to Pinsir. but slightly better. Alright, Horsey. Horsey is similar to Sandshrew. Have I ranked Sandshrew? Oh shoot, okay. Well, Sandshrew, I guess you're going to be right next to Horsey then. Horsey is similar to Fossil Magmar with a smokescreen attack, and yeah. If the opponent does decide to attack, they have to flip a coin. If heads, they can go through. If tails, they can't attack. And that is actually pretty good when it comes to situations like that. If they're doing tons of damage, you want to avoid that as much as possible. I'm gonna put Horsey. I mean, that is pretty good off of 1 energy, so. But I don't know what to put you. I guess I'll put you over Seadra. Alright. Jolteon. Like I said, all the evolutions have quick attacks, so that's nothing special. But the second attack is a lot different from the other. Pin Missile. Flip 4 coins, and this will deal 20 damage for each head. Again, it's like Common Punch off of Kangaskhan, but you can deal weakness damage off of some coin flips. Quite a gamble, but at least it's better than like Thieves Swipes and other coin flip monogamous. But again, not too consistent, so I mean, Water Gun for Vaporeon is not too bad. So at least you get flat damage, where this one is based on gamble. So I put it probably in C. Sure, I put it above. Electrode, nothing special. Alright, on to Cubone. So Cubone has Snivel. And if the opponent does attack, this reduces 20 damage. So a built-in defender, I guess. You could say. And the Rage, this base attack 10 damage, and then for each damage counter on Cubone, it will deal that amount of damage plus 10. Okay. Cubo is more so like a stall kind of. I mean, it doesn't really have much HP, so Rage is technically useless. Yeah, I mean, if this is like base to Neo, you can use Recall or like not Fossil, Neo Discovery or Neo Revelation, Aerodactyl, somewhere around there. You can look it up, but that is the Aerodactyl that could get you to use a pre-evolution attack for the energy requirement. And if you use this for Marowak, for example, because that's more HP, that could be good. At max total, you're probably dealing 60 damage off of 2 fighting energies, so that's pretty good. So that's something to play around, but in base to Fossil, not really too much. It's more so like for on, then you can see something like that, but that's really all I could think about for this Cubone. So Cubone is for my radar. Uh, hmm. I guess I'll put it below drowsy, I guess. Sure. Alright, on to Kabuto. Kabuto is a fossil Pokemon, so it's technically a stage 1. For stage 1, 30 HP. That's quite pathetic. And then Kabuto's armor. That would reduce half of the damage. So it'll take 10 damage, I think. So, okay. Interesting. Doesn't really help too much. I mean, the Pokemon power does help a little bit, but not too much. And scratch, just scratch. Yeah, nothing too much to go all about. More so kind of stall Pokemon, and you're just waiting for Kabutops. But even for Kabutops, we're gonna get into it. There we go. We'll talk about Kabutops once we get to it. But Kabuto by itself not too good. So you're probably going bottom C or D. I guess D. Yeah. Actually, I guess I'll put it above them. Yeah. Yeah. Kabuto's not good. Eevee. Alright, so this one has Tail Wag, has 50 HP, so, great introduction. 50 HP, that's, not huge, but it's, definitely slightly bigger than the others. And then Quick Attack, I mean, it's essentially the same thing. Base attack is 10 and then deal 20 more damage off of heads. Tail Wag, let me just zoom in. Flip coin of heads, the fighting Pokemon can't attack Eevee. Okay. Alright, so similar to Smoke Screen but doesn't deal damage. Yeah. Decent Eevee. Can take decent amount of hits. But that's it. So yeah. I mean, not too shabby, not too shabby. I guess I'll put you above Hoisey then. Yeah, that's about I could do. Coughing, basic coughing. Has foul gas. Flip a coin of heads. Defending Pokemon is now poison. If tails, it's now confused and deals 10 damage off of 2 grass energy. So this is slightly better than the wheezing. This wheezing. And foul gas, it deals 10 damage off of 2 grass energy. That's not good, but the status condition off of either heads or tails is pretty good for what it is. So it could be confused or poison. Both status conditions are really good. So yeah, and it does have 50 HP, so it can tank a little bit. But I don't know how good it would be. I wouldn't say like competitively, but it's something to be not to look over. Definitely not to look over. So all right, this one's quite hard. Where should I put basic coughing? think I put it. I put it above Golbats because it's essentially similar to Venat, not Ven, Venomoth. This Venomoth, but it does have shapeshift, so that's slightly better. But at least either heads or tails, you gain status condition, so that's pretty good. So I'll put there for now. Krabby. Krabby has Call for Family off of 1 energy, similar to Bellsprout. And then Iron Grip does 20 damage off of the colorless and 1 energy. So, yeah, slightly better. Kingler, like I said, Kingler is not the best. It doesn't have much. It doesn't have that ideal 70 HP, right? Plus, Crab Hammer is not consistent. It does require quite a ton of water energy to actually do something. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's kind of unfair because I put Bellsprout higher. So I guess I'll put it below Bellsprout because at least you can tack on the first turn with Bellsprout. Alright. Execute as Hypnosis. Alright. This is Auto Sleep. And then Leech Seed does 20 damage and heals for 10. Average all around. Not to say much. The Auto Sleep is quite nice, so I guess that could synergize with Base and Haunter. But that's really it. So let me see. Average all around. I don't know what to put you. Sure, I guess you're slightly better than coughing. I mean, wheezing. You keep mixing between the names. Ammonite. No, this Ammonite actually is quite useful because Cowardice or Crowdis, I don't know how to say it. Actually puts your opponent onto a state where they had to show their hand all the time for the whole game as long as Omnite is in play. So yeah, that's pretty good. You know, you can definitely disrupt the opponent if you see anything useful. You can just last, and then yeah, Omnite. This Omnite is actually pretty good for what it is for that Pokemon power because it can disrupt the opponent, and if it's the Rocket On format or base set to Rocket, you can actually use Rocket Sneak Attack or Imposter Professor Oak's Revenge, Rocket Trap. It could be anything that could disrupt the opponent's hand. This is actually quite game breaking for what it is, and unfortunately, flaw about fossil Pokemon is that you need to rely on Mysterious Fossil, and Mysterious Fossil is a trainer card, so it can be last away. But Omnite is pretty good for what it is. Yeah. Water Gun. I mean, that's like a Poliwag kind of attack, so yeah. But this Omnite, yeah, can definitely disrupt your opponent's hand, and you can see what they're trying to plan their next move. So yeah, don't sleep on this Omnite. Do never sleep on it. The thing is that where do I put this Omnite if it's that powerful? That's a good question. Since it has the ability to force your opponent to show their hand all the time, I had to put it like somewhere in B or possibly A. But it is a fossil Pokemon, so I'll put it above Aerodactyl because of that disruption. Aerodactyl does disrupt evolving Pokemon, but there's one flaw because if all your opponent's Pokemon are just basics, that Pokemon power is quite useless. But where Omna, you can actually see what your opponent is trying to do, and you can actually prevent that by lasting them, and that could be a game changer at times. Yes, it's quite annoying to play Mysterious Fossil, but man, it could be quite useful at times. I ain't gonna lie about that. All right. Let's check a review on this tier list real quick. Should I change the Executor's position? You know what? I feel like Wigglytuff should be up there. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it. There you go. There you go. All your Wigglytuff fans and do the wave. Oh, speaking of Goldeen, we have Goldeen. Now, like I mentioned, Goldeen just has Horn Attack and it's free retreat. Not Flame Rambo, but it does have free retreat, so that's quite nice. So I put it probably above Ekans. Geodude. Put it above Ekans. Magnemite, okay. Like I mentioned for Tauros, synergize pretty well. Defender helps it keep it in play. Yeah, all around pretty good, surprisingly. Base set only is just an interesting format because you, like I said, you get to express that creativity and trying to find different new decks to play around. And Magnemite is for sure a fun deck, and man, it can go ham. I just think that's funny because self-destruct is supposed to explode itself, but Defender prevents that, and I just think that's so funny. Because technically it's not self-destructing, it's just electro bursting itself. All because of that. Where did I put it? I mean, it get paralyzed for off of one energy, similar to Electabuzz, but slightly worse. I don't know. It's quite hard. It's quite hard. Like you definitely need a defender. Essentially. So I guess I'll put it above Doduo. Yeah. For now. I might change my mind. Psyduck. Ooh. Now this Psyduck is quite something. It's OP. The fact that Headache can disable your opponent, preventing them to use any trainers out of their hand. That's incredible. Furious Fight, that's a nice addition to deal some chip damage. So not bad. But mainly for that Headache. if you're playing Psychic Energy or playing a dual type deck, oh boy, Psychic Energy, oh, Psyduck is definitely gonna stall out and ruin your opponent's plans on what they're trying to do for that turn. Like they might Oak or try to last you something, and Psyduck just prevents it. It's just so good that it has to be somewhere around an A or possibly an S. But yeah, it's just really good. And I think I had to put a top of A. It's just that good. Like trainer disrupting is by far the best because we all know trainers are like the most powerful and intuitive point of the Wizard Coast format. Like trainer cards back then, base to fossil is the name of the game. If you have less trainer cards, they still be pretty good because you can just multiply play them over and over again because there's no supporters, like I mentioned. There's no limit, so you can just play whatever you want as many times without any limit. It's so good, and that's why training cards needs to be stopped because your opponent can just tower over you because of the training cards that are too OP. And that's why Psyduck, it's really good for what it is. Headache is good stall attack, even though it doesn't do damage. Disable trainer cards. It's the name of the game, you know? And that's why you see it in every Arcanine Electro decks, this Rushdown decks. Oh man. Definitely helps to prevent any aggro dunking decks that are just trying to dunk on you on the first turn. But yeah. Jigglypuff. No. Lullaby, the auto Lullaby is quite useful. And Pound. It's mostly that Lullaby. I don't really say much about Pound, but I guess that's nice chip damage. And Jigglypuff has 60 HP, so that's huge for a pre-evolution. Yeah, just great all around. Great pre-evolution of Wigglytuff. Yeah, you can stall up a little bit with sleep. Yeah, nothing really much to say. It's just all quite solid. So I put it right there. Right there. Metapod. Surprisingly, Caterpie and Metapod are in base set, but not in jungle. So I just found that was kind of interesting. And they say Butterfree for jungle. I don't know why. Don't ask me. But Metapod, similar to a Caterpie, it does paralyze off of Stun Spore. Deals 20 damage, so it's slightly better. But it does require one more grass energy to use it. But Stiffen is essentially Harden, but a different name. I don't know why. But yeah, 70 HP. That's again, like I mentioned, pretty good for stage 1. But let's say Stun Spore is a good reliable attack. It can be similar to Pinsir and Tangela. It can be 70 HP is by far the best. So it actually stalled some time. Paralyze is the best stats condition by far. So at that era, yeah, you can definitely do something. I probably put way above Kakuna because I mean paralyze you're always gonna there's no such thing as a auto paralyze, so Metapod gets it going. That's all it needs. And paralyze back then was quite rare besides Electabuzz. Electabuzz Buzz is by far the most prominent one to have some sort of paralyzed status condition, but otherwise, there's not many in the base set only format where there's that many paralyzing decks. So if you're running grass, Metapod is not a bad choice. Uh, so I'll probably put it surprisingly in somewhere in B because of paralyze. Yes, paralyze is just that great. Uh, and I probably put it above Arbuck. Would I say Farfetch? I do like Farfetch off a Leak Slab, but Leak Slab is a one-time thing, and you have to scoop it up to use it again. I don't know. I think I have to put it above Farfetch. Like Farfetch can resist Hitmonchan, but that's all it could do. Yeah, and Paralyze is just that good. Like, there's no doubt about it. Probably put. Should I put above Vaporeon? I guess I had to. Yeah, Paralyze is that good. I changed my mind. Where did I put Tangela? Also, I haven't ranked Tangela. I think I haven't. Oh well. On to Shoulder. Shoulder. What does it have? Supersonic. Should have Supersonic. Flip a coin if it has that confuse. Hide and shove. Prevent all damage if his is flipped. Again, mediocre around. Not really too much. And plus, I believe Shelter has, I think 40 or 30. Somewhere around there. Nothing saying much. Just a stally kind of Pokemon waiting for Cloyster. Speaking Cloyster, we do have Cloyster right there, so yeah. I mean, Cloyster is not better, but it is slightly better than Shelter, which is not saying much. Mankey, oh, we all know. Peak is Peak is such a funny move. It's such a funny Pokemon power where you can have the ability to cheat, like peak on your anything on the board. It doesn't have to be your opponent. You can be on your side. It could be the prize card. It could be your top deck. It could be your opponent's hand. It could be anything, right? And you just get a sneak peek of what's going on. Mostly you gotta do it onto your opponent, but I definitely recommend it onto your prize cards if you're deciding to find anything because I think it does it on your prize cards. Either plays prize cards. So yeah, you can definitely check what kind of Pokemon that you need through those prize cards. And if you do decide to get some knockouts, you can find the resource that you need. Those missing pieces that are been prized, and Mankey can definitely help you on that if you're missing some pre-evolutions or evolution pieces to get that perfect setup or some trainer cards, right? So Mankey is so good. It's so funny that they made such a basic Pokemon to have like a broken ability. Yeah, Peak, really good. Really good, you know? You can just have tons of Mankeys on the board, and then you just peak whatever you want. Like 3 times in a row in one turn. And I just think that's insane. So similar to Omnite, but you do it onto your board to well, I would say like two somewhere. They're completely different still, but they have the option to like reveal something off the board. So just because of that, I think. Oh God. I put about Charmander. Oh man, I don't want to do this, but yeah, Charmander. Mankey's is better than Charmander. I mean, Peek is so good. You know, get to cheat, get to get a sneaky peek. Who doesn't want that? All right, Nidoran. Now, Nidoran male has a Coin Hazard for 30 damage off of a coin flip and heads. You'll be doing 30 damage, and that's insane for one grass energy. It's pretty insane. But it is off of a heads, so most of the time you're not doing anything. But one grass energy, that's quite insane. You can put that in any like grass type aggro decks. You'd be swinging away. This is quite similar to the Neon Genesis Tyrogue that has Smash Punch off a coin flip. That's very similar to this, and this is like the prototype. Unfortunately, it's not a baby Pokemon, so you get still attacked either way. But off of one grass energy, it's quite insane. Not consistent, but is very satisfying to get off of 30 damage, one energy attack. It has 40 HP, so it could survive a little bit longer. Not too long, unfortunately. But I could see this being like quite aggro into grass type decks. So I put a top of Farfetch because it is a consistent Farfetch. You can just keep doing it until you get like heads. Where Farfetch is like a one-time thing. Farfetch is versatile, but it's a one-time thing, like I said, and you have to scoop it up to get that leak slap again. And Nidoran male does it better because it can just keep doing it. You don't have to scoop it up all the time, and yeah, pretty great for what it is. Yeah, so surprisingly interesting card that could be aggro. And then finally, let's rank Slowpoke. We're almost done, right? Okay. Slowpoke, the derpy. What is even Slowpoke? What is Slowpoke even? Like, what is Slowpoke supposed to represent? I don't know. But Slowpoke has spacing out and flip a coin that could prevent. Oh no, flip a coin if heads, remove one damage counter off of slow king. No, it's not slow king. Slowpoke. And then scavenge, discard one psychic energy to use this attack. And put a trainer card off your discard into your hand. Similar to similar to Item Finder, but you do have to sacrifice Slowpoke. Or keep it alive, I should say. Interesting concept off of play. It's an interesting concept off of paper, but not good when it comes to testing. You know, 50 HP, like I said, it's not bad, but the fact that spacing out doesn't deal damage, or any of its attacks deal damage. The fact that Scavenge had to discard a psychic energy. Yeah, this Slowpoke's not gonna live for too long, and it's gonna get knocked out. Yeah, it's Scavenge is pretty nice, but you are sacrificing Slowpoke, and I don't think that's a smart decision. Iron Fire is still better because at least you don't sacrifice a prize card for your opponent. Yeah, Slowpoke not the efficient way to utilize your techniques a lot more knowledgeable. What I'm saying. It's like I'm trying to say some smart things, but I'm not. Yeah, the Slowpoke. I mean, I don't really see much play about it. I want to say D. It does have, I guess, some use, but I think I put it bottom D. I mean, bottom C. Hmm. Should I? Uh. I mean, you can use Defender to prevent some damage and just attach Psychic Energy and Iron Fighting. So I guess you can use it for late game, but even for late game, it's still tough to use. Plus, the opponent can just energy removal you, so that's annoying. Yeah, Scavenge, I don't really see as like game breaking or anything. It might sound game breaking, but oh boy, it's quite tough. I mean, I think I had to put like, yeah, right there. Yeah, seems about it. Sorry, Slowpoke, but you kind of suck. Um, but yeah, that is it for this tier list. Going to end off of there, but we're going to move on to part 8. I think it's part 8 next episode, but yeah, that's tier list. Here's the rundown. Get some knowledge refreshed after all the tier lists we've been in. I don't know how long this is gonna end, but yeah, it's probably gonna end roughly around part 10. I'm just assuming, but yeah, this is the whole rundown for tier list. Let me know what you think or what you should move about this tier list, and tell me about your opinions on some of the Pokemon that you rank a little bit higher or a little bit lower. It's based on your opinion, not judging. Opinions are opinions. You should respect them. Um, and that's it. I'm gonna end this here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.